Hello and welcome to season 2 of Pine Stars. We are here to talk about everything University of Indianapolis baseball. Take a look back at games played, weekend series coming up, and have a little fun talking about baseball. We have, as always, with me is Brian Tyrannosaurus Rimke, the Kurt Brabender. I am Brad Bates, and we are lucky today to have Coach Al Reddy along with us. Coach, welcome to the show.
Man, thanks for having me, guys. When this project, came to fruition last year, I figured I'd be an executive producer, but I couldn't even get on the show last year. I'm just, thrilled to be on here this year. Thank you very much for having me.
Make
Well,
the most out of your opportunity.
let's be honest. The only reason you are here is because you're a coach, and it has nothing. I mean, you really hogged a lot of at bats and innings behind the plate when we were on the team together, and so therefore you would not have been warranted to be on this show otherwise. But
I will say though, I do remember you DHing quite often. So I sometimes question, that the how much you actually sat on the bench.
oh no. Well, DHing, I'm sitting on the bench half the game anyway, and I'm really,
There we go.
and then by the fifth inning, if I got on base, I got a pinch runner for me. So
True. Very true. Very true.
But does that count? Because
Well,
I pinch ran a lot for him. I never got to pinch run because he was never on base.
I walked a lot. I got a lot of walks. But here on Pine Stars, here's the thing, just like we talked about, we are celebrating the guys that are not necessarily between the lines, but the ones that are in the dugout, chirping in everybody's ears and making sure that baseball is still one of the greatest games of all time. And so that's what we do. That's what we did back in the day, and so that's what we continue to do now. Is we just chirp from the dugout and cheap sheets and make sure that we can keep ourselves involved. Um, Coach, talk to us a little bit about the ball club and what you foresee for this coming season.
Well, it has a kind of the same feel as last year. We have several new faces. I don't think it's going to take us quite as long to get the offense rolling. We run a bunch of crazy plays and to try to spin them into the ground, so to speak. And it took about 15 or so games last year to have sort of the same feel as what we had the first weekend down at Mississippi College. So I'm excited about that. We changed up a couple things in the fall in terms of how we went about putting in our plays, and I think it's for the best, and I think it's going to expedite things a little bit. And it appears that we can pitch a little bit after week one, which has always been something that we've been focusing on the last couple of years, is trying to bolster our pitching staff. Our last two trips to Cary, 4 games, we've scored over 30 runs in those 4 games, and it's just a matter of if we can keep the other team off the scoreboard, we got a real chance to do something special.
Yeah, I mean that last weekend series out of Mississippi College, 1-run ball games and the games you lost, extra innings, hanging tight with the number 20 team in the country. And I think last weekend when we saw each other, you had said that Mississippi College had taken Tampa, was up on Tampa, I think, in the regional.
Yeah, they were a regional team last year, and they had beaten Tampa once, and so they came down to a situation where Tampa had to beat them twice, and they were actually down 9-2 or something like that, and we're around the 6th or 7th inning. And give them credit, they came back and won, and tough to come back from that loss right there. Give Tampa credit, they beat them twice and hosted the Super and went on to Cary and won the whole thing.
I think there's a lot to be said about that, right? You go down to Mississippi and play a team. They've probably been practicing outside all year. How many times have you guys been outside so far this year?
Well, we got in a practice, an inter-squad game over at the Silver-Haired Fox's place. Of course, he's over at Franklin Central High School now, and they've got all turf and lights and just a beautiful setup over there. And he was graceful enough to let us play over there one day. But that's pretty much it. We've had a couple of practices where we've been able to get out on the turf on Key Stadium and the practice field across from our left field fence, take some ground balls and some fly balls, but that was it going into Mississippi College. I mean, It's January 30th was the very first day of opening day for D2. When they first called me and wanted to schedule this series, I think their head coach was thinking I was going to tell him to kick rocks. And believe me, I thought about it. January 30th is awful early to open up. And, we haven't never opened up before the middle of February. But then it just kind of hit me that when we play these teams in mid-February, they've played 10 or 12 games already, and so their pitchers are ramped up and they're throwing 80, 100 pitches, maybe more in some cases, and it's a little bit of a disadvantage for us. So I said, you know what, let's do it. I figured that this would be as close to an even playing field as we could get, and if we're going to steal one, it'll be this weekend. And sure enough, we were able to pull one out. So it wasn't necessarily about the wins and the losses down there that early. We needed a strength of schedule boost. We needed a KPI boost, which is the performance indicator for, there's three of them, but it's the main performance indicator for Division II baseball. And of course, we got both of those and pulled out a victory and had a chance to, win a couple more, if not sweep them. We played pretty well. There's no question about it. It was a good weekend for us.
Yep.
And the one game that kind of stood out, Gavin Smith really with probably maybe a better performance than you expected that early in the year. What did you see from him?
Yeah, he's our Tulane transfer. So an experienced guy.
Green Wave.
Yeah.
Tulane. Wonderful colors in their uniform, by the way.
Yeah, he's done well since he's been here, and there's no reason to think he's not going to continue to do well. He's ramped up. He's thrown that many pitches before, one time before in an inter squad game earlier this spring. So it wasn't anything crazy, but also having the following weekend off made that decision a little bit more a little more easy. If we had it's been scheduled to play the following weekend, probably wouldn't have done it. But nonetheless, he shoved, man. He threw a CG shutout, 7-inning complete game, and we won 4-0. And that was one of the main bright spots of the trip.
Yeah. Rimke, what else did you see from the last weekend?
Well, and Al, you already mentioned this, but going down there, obviously playing a very good opponent and in every game. In fact, that first game was won in the bottom of the ninth. So that one was tight. Coming back second game, really strong.
That was a scheduled 7 as well. So it was extra innings.
Yeah. Free baseball. Who doesn't love that? Especially coming right out of the gate. And then, games 3 and 4, 3-2, 6-5. And all those that you guys were in well throughout the game, kind of contrary to last year where it was kind of, let's see if we can outscore them. So what did you see? Obviously, when you're in tight games like that are low scoring, pitching's going well. What did you see from the defensive side?
Oh, we played great defense. I think we had 1 inning on the weekend, the entire weekend. It was in game 4 where we had some self-inflicted wounds, but other than that, we played really, really well. Took care of the baseball. Our center fielder, Carter Thomas, transferred from Wayne State, Nebraska, made one of the most unbelievable catches I've ever seen. So it's on our X feed, but it's not a great view of it. It doesn't do it justice. It was like
paint a word picture for us.
Willie Mays-esque. I mean, left-handed thrower. So just kind of going back, caught it, jumping and diving at the same time. It was an unbelievable catch. I encourage you to take a look at it on our X feed. It's
little Jimmy Edmonds out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Jim Edmonds. There you go. Jim Edmonds. That's the best way to put it. It was a incredible catch. And we had some other, really good plays too. We threw a guy out at the plate.
Does Carter have frosted tips like Jim Edmonds?
No, he does not. He does not. So
no, okay,
he actually just shaved
Appreciate
for the first time in a while, man. And he looks like a little kid now.
But you got a couple big additions in players, but you also return some pretty solid ball players. You got
Chase Mate
coming back.
Yeah.
You got Benny coming back on the mound. You got Austin Bodie. You got Chase Mason, and like you were saying, a couple other
Yeah,
guys.
and Benny didn't even pitch in this series. He's not ready yet. He will be, but he hasn't. He didn't throw in this series. So again, like to shut him down the way we did, and still have some guys in reserve is a very encouraging moving forward.
So but you've got some big name, what I would say big name, because they've already produced some this year. Big key additions, like you said, with Gavin Smith,
Yep,
Solon
Aiden
Munson had
Tran. Yep, Aiden Tran from Dayton. Yep.
Yep. And so you got some good guys coming in to help round that out. We're here to kind of help welcome those guys into the fold and into the environment and the culture. And we talked a little bit about last year towards at the end of the season about the culture that you've created in the last 7 years while there in that head coaching position. And now the expectation is every year we're going to carry.
Yeah, it's a great feeling too to be able to step in the room that first meeting and lay it all out on the line for them. And it's one thing to hear the coaches say it. I think a lot of players kind of like maybe think, well, the coach has to say that, right? But like,
right.
Our goal is to win the World Series, but to be able to say it and a lot of the returning guys, the guys who've been around, the guys that we've recruited based on, the success that we've had to actually believe it, like, hey, we can do this, and this year is no different. We absolutely can make a strong run this year. And you just have to get hot at the end. And we typically played pretty good baseball down the stretch. And so, anything's possible. I'm very happy with the pitching up to this point. And if we continue to get strong pitching performances consistently throughout the course of the season, there's no reason why, somebody's going to win it. Might as well be us. That's the way I look at it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
So let's look at the week ahead. You're headed down to Missouri Southern.
Yes, correct. Although we play Mankato State out of the MIAA, we play them twice and Missouri Southern once. So it'll be a 3-game set this weekend for us. So weather permitting, and keep an eye on that schedule too. They are calling for rain on Saturday. They do have a full turf field and it's a nice setup. We may have to alter the schedule though. I'm very confident we'll play all 3 games. I just don't know exactly what it's going to look like yet.
Yeah. And I think, I don't think Mankato State's played yet this season.
They open up with us. It's their first game.
And then Missouri Southern's played a couple games, maybe 5 games. And they seem to be kind of feast or famine. They either win 11-1 or they're losing 8-2.
They'll be a good team. They had maybe a slight down year last year, but they've been very consistent over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. They took Central Missouri maybe to the conference title game either last year or the year before. I know that. So they'll be tough.
Okay. Rimke, you see anything else? Scotty putting anything in your ear about he wants to add into the show?
Yeah, he told me not to bring it up, but I'm going to. Is their colors are green and yellow, and you're gonna have some sort of comment about it because it's just up your alley. I mean,
who, me?
Yeah, you're
well,
gonna make just run with it, Brad. You're going to.
Well, you're playing green and yellow and purple and yellow. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a fan of both of those color schemes.
I mean, that's the Packers and the Vikings, isn't it?
I know. I hate both of those teams, but I don't mind their color combinations. But I mean, I think it's an opportunity for you guys to get down again. Hopefully it's warmer weather. Hopefully the weather holds up and you guys are able to play some good competition early.
Yeah, the temperature is not going to be an issue. I mean, I'll play baseball in anything. We last weekend was 2 of the games were scheduled 9-inning games. We ended up playing all 7-inning games because Mississippi College was not allowed to play. Their athletic department had a policy if it was 32 degrees or below, which was, for me, I was like,
what is this, recess?
Yeah.
Is this the school making a decision about when kids got to wear their coats at recess?
Yeah, I mean, it's just different. It's just different.
You're talking about playing in any weather. We've got
we played Grand Valley and Davenport last year, and I think it was 15 degrees with like 5-degree wind chill or something like that. I mean, we don't care. I mean, we get acclimated. It's not like we just go out there. We get acclimated, you know, a little bit at a time early on. But you know, it's there is a competitive advantage, I feel like, if you get used to playing in the colder weather, and then, you know, it's just whatever, you know, if it warms up, great. If it doesn't, well, we're used to it.
Yeah.
I think the
Well,
teams from the South are
speaking
soft.
of, go ahead, Kurt.
No, I'm just saying. I think the teams from the South are soft, right? They get nice weather year round. And
Yeah,
that's all they do. That's all they know,
yeah,
right? Have them come up north
I
playing
mean,
some of this.
that's one way to put it. They're definitely not used to it. I can tell you that. You know, the 4 7-inning games that we played, 2 of them were scheduled as 9s. You know, and again, whenever you're on the road and you're playing 7-inning games, it's like, well, you get the starting pitcher out of the game, and then it's like, all right, let's get on the bullpen, and then there's only 1 or 2 innings left. You know, so it's becomes a little bit more difficult. I feel like if we would have played the series that is scheduled with the 2 9-inning games, we probably would have won at least 1 more, if not 2. But you know, it was still good. It was still a good trip for us.
Yeah.
Is that duster keeping that top lip warm during this cold weather?
Absolutely, it is.
God, I mean, it looks good, man. It looks so
I
good.
appreciate that, man. Yeah.
We've actually, you know, you talked about playing in cold weather. We've got a clip of you playing baseball back in the great frozen lakes up in Canada on skates.
Oh, I got it.
Let's cut to a clip.
See this.
Yeah, well, there's no clip out there.
Yeah, you might have.
We're not that good.
You might have a Kodak print or something like that. I don't. There's no video of us playing baseball anywhere. It's somebody took a roll of film to get developed, and you know, you might be lucky if you have got it.
Well, you're creating a Canadian pipeline. First of all, you're creating a Canadian pipeline. You're bringing in Jaron Short out of Simcoe.
Yeah.
You're bringing in Bennett Rogers. And these kind of mail order Canadian players are coming in and just absolutely showing out for you.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, I don't consider, you know, we're a northern team. I mean, Indianapolis is kind of on the cusp of,
sure,
you know, being, are we northern or we're kind of, it's cold, you know, let's not beat around the bush on that regard. So the Canadian kids typically, they don't, you know, it doesn't bother them. And so, you know, I like, you know, I'll take care of the Canadian kids whenever I can. I mean, it's still a business, you know, they're not eligible for government financial aid, so that you do have to pay a premium for them. But when you can find a good one, man, I'll tell you, and we've got 4 good ones on the roster right now.
That's awesome. So, you know, one of the things we wanted to look at getting into the 2026 season, Kurt and I were discussing the other day that we kind of feel like there needs to be a motivating kind of theme for this season. And Kurt brought up a really good story that I feel like could pertain to this. So I'm going to let Kurt take off with that.
Right. So we had a bunch of good ones come up, right? A little back and forth. But we landed on one, and it's fresh out of cake. So Al, I think this probably rings a bell. Obviously, we're all part of that.
Like I said at our first pitch dinner, you know, fellas, I got to keep my part clean. So, you know, you guys are independent though, so you can, you know, certainly say whatever you like. But I got to do my best.
Some of the history, right?
I got to do my best to keep it clean. Yeah,
I think it's important to know the history, right? I mean.
Yeah, sure.
99,
sure.
2000. We had Leon was the bus driver, right? That's the first year we had that trip down to Montgomery for the World Series, and
Leon
was the bus driver.
Leon was certified gold, man. That guy was
one of the best.
Unbelievable. I don't even know where he's at now or what he's doing, or even if he's still alive. He was, but back in those days, he was.
If he's alive, I'm impressed. I'll be honest.
If he's alive, he's 100.
Yeah.
But no, Leon. I mean, he was every bus trip. He took us down to Montgomery for the World Series. But one of the memories of Leon is when we're leaving. You know, we stop at Golden Corral. You know, these real high end places for dinner, right, or lunch, whatever. From Old Vaught. He'd always get on the intercom and say, if you got kids around, you might want to close yours real quick. He goes, listen up, you motherfuckers. We're getting ready to stop for cock and cake. And they're fresh out of cake. Who's going to be the first motherfucker off the bus to get them some cock? So we laid it on. We're fresh out of cake this year. All right. So any team that we play, right, they're not getting the cake. They're just getting the cock. We're fresh out of cake.
Kurt, that was great. That was pretty much how it sounded. Yeah. I mean, that's a very good Leon impression, man.
And it was great. I mean, we would roll. I mean, the guy was great. And to top that off, when we went down to not North Carolina, Montgomery, we made him a shirt that said "Fresh out of cake," and he wore that shirt with pride. He
sat in the front row and wore that shirt to all 4 games.
As he should. He should.
So that's the backstory to that theme that we've come up with for this year. So
fresh out of cake. I love it.
Yep. Fresh out of cake.
All right. Now we're moving on to possibly the most influential part of the show, which is really where we come into play and our influence on the ball club. I don't want to say it can be overestimated, but it's pretty important. It's time for our clicks to pick. Okay.
Oh, this is my favorite segment, man.
This is where we are going to click. Do what?
It's picks to it's clicks to pick. It was said backwards so many times last year that it's just got to be said that that's the way it is.
It's officially clicks to pick because it was supposed to be the other way around. I messed it up the first show and then we had to stick with it. So we're sticking with it. But this is where we identify who our players are. And Reddy, you are not getting to pick anybody this week because I don't want that weight on you. But we are going to pick 3 guys that we feel like are really going to set the tone and go off this weekend and help the Hounds get 3 wins down in Joplin, Missouri. So, Kurt, let's start with you. You can give us your pick.
For this week, he was a huge asset to the team last year. You contributed a lot to the success, getting them down to carry North Carolina last year for the World Series. Probably didn't have the opening weekend that he had hoped for or expected or is capable of doing. But I'm going with Chase Mason, Kenny, 2 names. So, looking back at the box score, he had 1 base on balls, 3 hit by pitch, but 3 stolen bases as well. Again, guy's gritty. I love it, right? He's wearing those pitches, getting on base, doing whatever he can to, help the team out. And again, the success he had last year is going to carry over again, first weekend. And that's why I asked you, Al, how many times you guys been outside? So I think that makes a big difference early in the year, not seeing that live pitching, game situations.
That's a great pick, Kurt. If you look back last year, Chase had a little bit of a slow start last year, but he is one of the best hitters we have. I mean, he gives you a strong at bat. And even when he's not, getting hits, so to speak, he still takes his walks, his hit by pitches. He gets on base. He's a great base runner. I mean, he's one of the best catchers in the league, but he's also one of the best offensive players in the league too, as well. So, he's going to have a big weekend at some point. And if it starts this weekend, great. Because once that train gets rolling, it doesn't stop.
Yeah. So I think the sooner he gets off that, finds his groove, the quicker you guys get back and, the whole team, rallies around it. So that's my pick.
Yep. Good pick.
All right, Reddy. Ricky.
Well, Al, typically our process to get to these clicks to pick, it's long and drawn out, and there's a lot of debate. There's a lot of discussion. That's not what happened this week. This was literally a no-brainer, and not just because the guy's a dome hunter when he's at Greyhound Park, and not just because he actually had his nickname reversed from what we gave him.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm going with your Matt Stairs, your professional hitter. This is Boss Baby.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Boss is one of my favorite guys, man. He is just. He had 15 starts last year and hit 7 home runs. I mean, he's a hitting machine.
And then probably coaching move that hasn't been acknowledged, and this was true when I was there, is you give your best player number 5.
Sorrells was number 5. Yeah.
And then after Sorrells, I took it. I kept the uniform nice and clean.
Yeah.
So we kept it, it's in great shape. And so I'm glad to see Boss Baby carry on that tradition.
Yeah. And then when Sorrells was gone, then that's what you wore, right?
Yeah. It was natural passing of the torch.
Yep, that's right.
Sorrells and our games were very similar.
I'm really surprised, Brian, they didn't retire that number after you left.
Me too.
I'm surprised.
how many Gold Glove bullpen catchers do you have in the program's history? I mean,
Right.
you're looking at one right there.
Right. Sure. I mean, Aaron Porter may argue that a little bit, that there's
I've got
two.
one right now. I've got one right now that when it's all said and done may rival, bullpen All-American. Ryan
Well,
Hayes is phenomenal kid, freshman kid that catches every single bullpen, without complaining or anything like that. He does a phenomenal job for us. I would nominate him for that. That he's right up there with you, Remke, in his short time that he's been here.
Yeah. Well, if he carries on in this trajectory, we're gonna have to make room on Brad's logo back there. Sounds like a guy that could get a spot.
He's
on
a
the bench.
guy that you're definitely going to want to have on the show at some point this year.
It sounds like he may be the next number 5. Is kind of what I'm hearing.
He might be. He's number 63 right now, I think, or 59.
Oh, well,
He is. You have to look and see.
That's an impactful number.
Yeah.
Could all be. Right. So the Kurt and T-Rim went with players from last year. My click to pick this week, new guy. Straight out of Johnson County Community College Cavaliers. Dubuque, Iowa's own Solon Munson is who I'm going with. Now, let me just outline a little bit of why I chose Solon Munson. First of all, I'm struggling with the nickname because the name itself is just got a great name, right? There's several possibilities, but he, I think, was reminding me a lot of myself in my playing days, in that not the fact that he's 6'1", 205. He's listed as a first baseman / catcher, right? Sound familiar?
Yep.
Then he's playing as the DH. Okay.
Yep.
And what's he do in this first game? He steals 2 bags.
Yep, that's right. Okay. He did.
Sound familiar?
Yep. He's an excellent base runner, just like you.
I got picked off twice. I didn't steal any bags, but I got picked off twice. So go ahead.
One difference I see right now, though, based between you and him, is you were 5'1", 205.
Hey, you're not going to steal any base. You're not going to steal any base unless you get picked off a couple times. Come on now.
No, that's true. But that was before I had cleats on. When I had cleats on,
that's a great pick too as well. He's definitely got the pedigree. His dad won the national championship Division I in 1999 at USC. Wow. They beat Arizona State, I think, in the championship game, and he's also the hitting coach for the Indianapolis Indians too as well.
Really?
So,
oh, cool. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, I debated on. I don't know that I've come up with a nickname for him yet. I mean, he's swiping bags. His name's Solon, so I just want to call him Stolen. But
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
Stolen Munson's not bad, but then you got Munson. He's from Iowa. You've got Roy Munson, who's from Iowa, Kingpin. So is it just Roy?
Oh, I like Kingpin, man. That's a great. That is a great one. Oh,
Roy Munson.
Roy or Kingpin. I like Kingpin. That's a
Kingpin. KP is not a bad one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Kingpin. I like Kingpin too.
We'll see how many of these nicknames actually stick throughout the course of the season. I think you had a couple of them last year stick.
Well, if Professor Plim is still on your staff.
Oh, Professor Plim. Yeah. Plimmer. He's definitely the professor. No question about it.
All right. Well, you got our clicks to pick. Now, our job's done. You've got things you've got to do. We greatly appreciate your time and coming on the show. Do you have any final thoughts you want to share with us before you go?
No, I think that I'm looking forward to seeing the show and listening to you guys talk each week about Greyhound baseball, and you guys are fantastic, and I really appreciate everything you've done for our program, and just keep up the good work.
And I have to say, Al, out of all the guests we've had on outside of myself, who's now a mainstay, you're my favorite guest speaker.
Well, thank you very much, Kurt.
All you had to do is beat out Woody.
May I add, Kurt, may I add that it was some of the most fun I had playing baseball with you this past summer in the 45 and over league. It was just a blast. I'm going to play again next year because I had so much fun.
You got to keep it lively, man. You got to keep it lively.
There you go.
All right, fellas. Remke, you got any final thoughts before this weekend series?
I just want to know if Kurt had Cinnamonies at the 45 and over league too.
Oh, there was a number of things. There are a number of things that came in Kurt's bag. Yeah, there's count them all.
No Cineminis. No
Yeah.
Cineminis. I learned my lesson.
All right, fellas. Well,
All right.
we will be sure to check in again next week after this series and update how things went, how our clicks went, and get you updated for the rest of the Greyhound season. Coach, good luck to you and the players as you take off. You got a lot of ball games, a long season ahead of you. So, find those guys in the dugout that can keep it live because it's a long season and you're going to run across some adversity, and you need those guys in the dugout to keep everybody moving.
We got a great core group of those type of players, and they're just as important as anybody else. Mark my words. I tell them that every day.
That's the most full of shit comment I've ever heard you say, but I appreciate that coming from the guys that were backing you up all the time. So anyway, good luck this weekend, and we'll catch you again next week. Have a good one.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Al.
All right. See you.
Al.